Hello everyone. We hope you're having a great day today. In our opinion, 2022 had a great start as it welcomed the Season 4 final of one of our most favorite series, Yellowstone. Now, you may ask, if you love it so much, why are you happy that the season has ended? Well, unfortunately, the season was going to end whether we like it or not, which is why we like it to end in a good way, rather than being a dud memory for the rest of the year. Yes, Season 4 final exceeded our expectations, since we were doubtful whether it would be able to catch up with the hype of the Season 3 final or not. Even though the incidents of the Season 4 final were not as grand as the previous one, there was one plot twist that made us all gasp, meaning that the show, once again, managed to be the center of discussions that will last for months. So far in the season, we watched the creator of the show, Taylor Sheridan, tackling multiple themes as he likes to write things that have a deeper meaning than it seems. Still, the overall theme of the season was different forms of family bonds. We watched a married couple's relationship, a father and son relationship, a father and daughter relationship, and even a relationship with a newly adopted child. All these different forms of relationships established the backbone of the season, even though the plot was still action-packed. In the final episode, however, the dominant theme was farewell, as we and many of the Yellowstone characters said goodbye to their loved ones throughout the episode. The initial farewell is triggered with the return of Jimmy to Yellowstone. First and foremost, we have to say that Jimmy is kind of a jerk. We know that it's a harsh statement, and he is a highly beloved character, and we love him too. Still, he is a jerk and he knows it too. Jimmy's return to the bunkhouse is welcomed by many, especially his ex, Mia, who kindly saluted him with a lovely smile upon first seeing. Then, Jimmy started to talk and ruined everything. He said that he came with someone and brought Emily in. It was a total blow in Mia's face, which ended up in her attacking Jimmy and then Emily attacking Mia, making us witness a terrible girl fight. The fact that two women fight over a man is already irritating and pointless enough that we don't have much to say about it. And yet, the fact that Jimmy stand there and did nothing but say "girls, stop," annoyed us very, very much. Emily, whom we were eager to get to know at first since she seemed like a cool character, lost all her charm in our eyes as well, since she attacked a woman whom she doesn't even know. We're not saying Mia was right to attack Jimmy in the first place. However, there is the fact that she is the one who was left behind, who mistakenly believed she was loved by Jimmy, and who lost all her hopes over a relationship. Anyone with a heart can see how much such a thing hurts, and empathize with Emily over it. After this bitter incident, Jimmy and Emily were welcomed by the Yellowstone crew while Mia was crying alone. They all also seemed very upset to say goodbye to Jimmy, especially Lloyd, as he cried over him. Although Jimmy was missing for almost 3 months, the thought that he will come back one day was always there. Now, he decided to continue his way alongside Emily in Texas, hinting at 4 6s as the news showed to keep up with. Another farewell took place with Summer Higgins, as she is sentenced to 15 years in prison, which is just ridiculous. Not that we are an expert on the law or anything, but it's clear that she was being used to set an example to the others, which is unfair. The judge, despite being friends with John, seemed very determined to send her to prison as he was hating anyone who was trying to justify their lawless actions, claiming that their intention was good. We get his point. That being said, nothing can justify the 15 years of imprisonment for making a protest and pushing someone. John was on the same page with us when it comes to Summer's case, and he had done his best to save her. After the trial that determined the sentence, he spoke with the judge once again, managing to convince him to reduce the imprisonment period. Still, he had to say goodbye to Summer in the courtroom for an unforeseeable amount of time, which was heartbreaking. Last, but certainly not least, we watched Jamie, saying goodbye to his biological father, Garrett. However, this goodbye was different from the others, as it was irreducible. When Jamie saw Beth in his office, he knew nothing good can come out of this. And yet, we're doubtful if he could have foreseen such a bitter outcome. Beth let Jamie know that she knows he has been keeping his talk with the attacker as a secret from them, which, in Beth's opinion, is proving that he is involved with the attacks. When Jamie corrected her and explained that he was questioning his father's involvement with the attacks, Beth came up with 3 options for Jamie, all of which were worse than the other. The first one was suggesting that she will let the authorities know about Garrett's crimes, which will lead Garrett to point at Jamie as the mastermind behind the attacks. The second one was involving Rip in the equation, as Beth was certain he would kill Garrett with no hesitation once he learns about him. And yet, Rip would also kill Jamie since Beth would also tell him the story of how Jamie disabled them from becoming a true family with kids. As Jamie started to beg Beth, she came up with a third option. Then, we cut to Jamie, speaking with Garrett, as the latter is prepared to leave Montana for good. The last words of Garrett were warning Jamie against the Duttons and letting him know that he loves him. Jamie's response was complicated. On one hand, he said, "I love you back." On the other hand, he shot his dad in the head and killed him. Since Homer mentioned Oedipus, Shakespeare perfected the tragedy in his play Hamlet, and Freud theorized the concept. Patricide has always been a tricky psychoanalytic subject that troubled the human mind. Regardless of the source material, it's clear that such a traumatic incident would go a man mad, and we fear Jamie will get into serious mental problems in the upcoming seasons. Would Duttons be helpful to him in overcoming such a tragedy? Well, we're highly doubtful. What do you think about Yellowstone Season 4 final? Which farewell was the worst in your opinion? Are you also worried about Jamie? Would you expect him to commit a crime as horrible as patricide in any condition? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.